Do you know what it is?
That's no one. Our 2 viewers. Although in the future, who knows?
Oh, wait, I can hear it.
Oh yeah, you fixed it, I think, Will.
Hold on. Yeah, I heard an animal. I heard Tal.
I think it's...
Hear me? Am I coming in?
Wait, hold on.
There's a
Wait a
delay, we'll see.
Can we hear Will? I'm trying to see if I can hear Will. I don't hear Will. I hear everybody else, but I don't hear Will.
Someone silenced him.
Yeah, I can hear you, Bugle.
Mm-hmm.
I am speaking so that my voice will go into the 5-minute queue.
It's only 15 seconds.
Oh, now I hear Will. Okay.
Okay, my voice is going through?
Okay, I think we're good now. Yes.
Weird.
Are you sure you've heard Will on the stream? I don't think I've heard
I
him.
just heard him, I think.
15
Sorry.
seconds later.
I know. Awkward
Okay,
start.
yeah, it's all good now.
Okay, we're all good. Sorry about that.
Alright. Please continue with your recap, sir. Thank you for fixing it.
Should be good now.
Start from the top.
Okay, sorry. Keep listening, Snap. I just want to make sure something didn't mess up that I did. Anyway.
Will do.
So yeah, the entire area was shrouded in darkness and we could not see or hear anything at all. Some people had made some attacks. We didn't quite know what had happened until eventually Crim felt something on his back, and that was S, the dinosaur of some sort, who was using some bark she had gathered during the chase to light up the torch on Crim, which managed to give us the ability to actually see him. We had a pretty intense fight with the guy. He, despite being pretty beaten, he still gave us a good fight. We eventually managed to bring him down. Had a big debate about what he was doing and why he was basically being dumb. I think Turner kind of compared Alexander to like a teacher just like talking down their horrible student. And then when he just kind of like just completely gave up, Lures had let out the little orb of his power, just escaped him. And very brief, not even really call it a debate, but this party decided that Alex would perhaps be the best candidate for this one. His ability lets him set the time, control the time of day in just like a very, very, very narrow piece of the land around him. Party ended up going back to town, which is apparently just like a 5-minute walk away to rest, so we barely just made it in time. The next day, Wade went out alone to the graveyard where S wanted to have a talk with him. The raccoon from his squad, way in the past, was there. Started to show up as they were having a talk, along with many other of his squad mates. Were there any other victims of the fire too, or was it just Wade's squad?
Well, it seemed like just the Wade's forces.
And
he had sent to die.
husbando, who's also there.
Yeah, later on, yeah.
And who? I'm sorry. Oh, her husband. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then she was just very mad at Wade for like not wanting to. I don't know what specifically. It was that she wanted revenge on him, and I think she was upset that he wasn't like making her want it, or just that he was just.
He was at peace, and she couldn't get that in the same way.
Well,
also, her husband had died from a group of wardings set during the conflict.
And so yeah, she was just still come to terms with it, and Wade was just kind of ready to just let her end his existence, but through a bit of a heart-to-heart, she managed to just finally let it go. All the people there kind of started departing, and then Wade had a little talk with his with his dead brother, who had basically told him to the same thing that they were trying to tell S, to forgive yourself and all that stuff or move on. And then eventually some of the ghosts led us to a part in the cemetery where there's apparently a blessing for us. And we're trying to figure out how to get that, and the details of that will be told as someone I imagine is resetting the scene here for us to figure this out.
1 second though. Will, I was listening to you on the stream. You're like 2 voices overlapped. It's kind of weird. You sound fine, but it's like kind of alien-like.
So weird. Something about my settings. I had a feeling that might happen.
But otherwise, we're good on sound. So.
Okay, I guess I'll just keep going then.
Yeah.
It's a foggy morning, but not a dark one, which is nice. One of you had noticed just a random-ish portion of the cemetery towards the periphery where someone had been kneeling for many hours. I think, like I said, like 2 to 8 weeks ago or something. I forget how well you did on the check. And that's where these ghosts had led you before completing their fading out. S is still chatting with a ghost in a different part. No one else is really around right now.
Completed their fading out. They're doing drugs now too.
Damn.
They do that meme where they snap and they just like slip away. But how was that grass stain? So was it 1 knee or 2 knees? That's on the.
Let's go with 2.
Oh,
2. Oh,
I completely misinterpreted that.
yeah. And we
I mean,
ended
it's
off.
one person kneeling with both their knees.
Is that
I know, but I guess when
Is
you
that
said
kneel?
kneeling, we like assumed it was like on 1 knee.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going for like prayer style, I guess, or like. something.
Okay.
I'm not sure what
So,
the
yeah.
tangible difference between 1 knee and 2 knees is, but
One
And
leg, duh.
well?
1 knee would
There's
be
also
like reverence. 2 knees would be like praying. So it's like slightly different.
That's a good point.
It was also mentioned that the spot like basically had a whole view of the entire cemetery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good view.
Remind me, was there any, like, vegetation around other than that one patch of grass?
Yeah, most of the, except where the path has trimmed the grass, it's a grassy cemetery. Very different flora than the jungle and everything around. It's well-kept grounds, just grass.
And we ended off with Cashmere in front of Wade, holding out his hand, and Wade taking it. That's right.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't feel, there wasn't a particular feeling from that.
Yeah, you asked us how each of them felt in that moment.
Right.
okay. God, I'm once again worried that the change I made will be bad for the audio, so for the time being, Snap, keep another ear up. Sorry for this. But I think what I'm going to have Turner try to do is just kind of like sit down and maybe try to cast a Detect Magic. He'll take a bit of time because I'll virtually cast it because the resting system on here.
You sound fine,
Okay.
by the way, Will.
Thank you.
I'll just answer that right now then so we can keep moving. Not like time is a big pressure here.
Oh.
You finished the ritual casting and... How do I answer that? You feel magic all around... Let me think about this. This is important. One moment.
That's fair.
What is magic?
What even is magic?
But
Good
what
question.
are birds?
Magic
We
is
just
everything.
don't know.
Okay, yeah, you sense magic all around you that doesn't neatly fall into a school as you're used to interpreting from the information the spell gives you. And yeah, it is Can you give me a spellcasting ability check, please?
Okay, and I imagine that does not include proficiency, correct? Typically?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Right.
11 on the die becomes a 15.
15. You were able to determine that it is more concentrated in the earth where that kneeling grass change is, subtle as it is.
Okay, he'll kind of bring that to the Pyre's attention.
Whoever was where I sit now must have cast that ritual. Why else would they be here for weeks?
What ritual?
I presume the ones that brought those wandering souls to these lands. For like our little audience. My comrades. They mentioned someone brought them here.
Right. I guess that could have been done here. But the question is... Alex is going to kind of walk up to one of the headstones. I'm not good at recognizing Mammalian names, so I can't tell if anyone who's buried here is... I can't imagine they'd give any sort of respect to people from Mammalon.
True enough.
Well, I mean, you'd be a little surprised.
Hasn't been too long. But if magic is concentrated here, what are we missing? Why else would someone sit in this position for weeks? Maybe they were a ghost?
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily sitting here for weeks. They were sitting here for a matter of hours. It just happened a few weeks ago.
I see. That changes things.
You know, if we're ever truly stumped, I can probably just, try to relocate the magic for a little while and study it there. I just have to sit here for about 8 hours.
It's funny because there was something I was thinking of trying that conveniently also takes 8 hours.
Well, I guess we'll see whose 8 hours happens first.
It's a race now.
I don't think that's... He just kind of stops there.
Are we gonna camp here? Is that what you're saying?
Of an audience. Cashmere in this position, it feels like I'm the princess to your prince.
It would be an extra time for selling the silk?
I think we've already made our sales in this location.
Oh, but I've read all about special extra long sales. Those sometimes get money.
You feel a distant, amicable shrug from Huston, wherever he is.
I'm gonna go and
take his hand away.
I'm gonna go and stand behind Wade and just kind of look at what's visible from that perspective.
I would like you to make a pure wisdom or intelligence check.
Ooh.
We're gonna use resolve on that because I'm not taking a natural 2.
Okay.
That's a little bit better. 16.
16. Okay. Everyone's got a bit of a problem solver in them, but you are really in problem solving mode right now. You're trying to figure this out, and you said it yourself, trying to get what is the perspective from here? You have learned sometimes to solve puzzles or surmount problems, you need to make assumptions. And I will tell you that you are drawn towards a pattern that you've recently experienced in your adventures thus far, and you might consider assuming that this is another stroke of paint in the same pattern. How would you approach this problem if this were different, but also the same as Inshu and Luris. You're looking at the graveyard to answer your direct question, though, and it doesn't give you any fresh perspective to your eyes.
With Inshu and Luris, it's kind of like figuring out like what it was that was driving them, and then basically
What if we-
either beat it out of them or talk sense into them.
What if we don't need to do... We're not equipped to handle this yet. We need to go... What if we need to go find whoever it is that was able to summon those spirits and deal with whatever problem is there, and that'll give us the tools we need to deal with this.
I wouldn't be
yes.
so sure.
We
Wait,
don't-
what was Wade saying?
I said that could possibly be it. I remember in the past it was an emotional change that always brought the release of these powers, some change of mindset.
That doesn't make any sense because we were led here by them, weren't we?
And I
The spirits said
I believe they told
Oh,
us
oh.
that. I believe they told us that we weren't to meet the person who had brought them here. Am I misremembering that?
Not
It's like
necessarily.
a week.
and also
said-
that the spirits had said that we could try to take the blessing, or something like that. So it was left here for us, or I guess not us specifically, but and well, his tail flicks and he looks at the graveyard and he tries to think. The angle this time is what he tries to think of all the books that he's read about like worldly traditions and stuff like that. What is something to do with graveyards, death, funerals, cemeteries, and kneeling? That could be something that would take a long time. He tries to think about what that would all have to do with this.
Okay, you could roll, same check.
History or
Raw
wisdom?
intelligence check.
I guess it could be history, yeah, that's fair.
Oh, okay, that helps too. That turns the +3 into a +6.
Quick question after this is resolved.
Only a 17 though.
Only 17. Okay. Kneeling in this way in a cemetery, from your collection of knowledge, especially history focused, it would mean probably one of three things. One, someone is simply visiting the cemetery and there are multiple graves that meant a lot to this person to kneel such a place for hours. Two, some sort of magical ritual. Perhaps something divine, perhaps not, to be kneeling in the same spot. Or three, something very personal, spiritual, emotional. Someone was just praying or reflecting, something like that, just opening up.
Thinking on that, Crim will go with the theory I originally had prior, and he will look at Wade. I know this may be a bit personal, and we could give you some space if you need it or anything like that. It's probably safe by now, but have you considered just going to that spot, getting on your knees, and speaking to them? That might be what they did. Just thinking about all the things I've read about books and death and cemeteries, I had a bit of a dark phase where I was reading a lot about that when I was on my way there, but
Sounds nice and edgy, friend. Well, I get to do it now while I'm awake. But strangely sounds nice.
you don't.
Oh.
You probably don't have to say it out loud or anything. I'll just stand here now. And he kind of
It's fine.
excuses himself so he doesn't put further feet in his mouth.
If you want to stay, they were my comrades. And so are you all. I just want you to write as much as anybody else.
think you'd be speaking to
That's
more than
right.
just your comrades, at least here.
True.
In fact, probably less them.
Yes.
Did you have a will question?
I did have a will question. I'll still let you do this thing, but I just want to quickly ask. The area where Turner was like feeling the the magic the strongest, as well as like the spot where the knee marks are, if they're not the same exact spot. Is that over like any particular grave, or is it just kind of like open, unclaimed ground?
The latter.
Okay, so just remembering from before, not gonna try this right now. I'm gonna let Beagle do his thing first. But Turner did also question, like, would we consider it disrespectful to potentially dig here? And well, one, he seemed like it might be okay if there was a purpose for it, and two, if there's no
Yeah.
actual grave there, it might be worth trying.
You would think it'd be dependent on the customs and who made the graveyard, the locals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, then he'll make room for Wade.
Alright, gotta perform more now. Yeah, Wade takes a shaky little breath, and again he takes his cap off, stands it up to his chest, and then puts it in front of him on the grass. It's a little sigh. Looks up as he's on his knees and just clasps his hands together, kind of like this. If you're listening, I never was much the religious or the spiritual sort. At least not unless the fireballs were all landing around us. Any man is religious. But Lathander, Ford. Sorry, I'm blanking on husband. Sorry, last name.
I think his first name was Sarukol.
Sarakol. If you're watching, I pray that those that have fallen here rest upon friendly lands. That those who still walk amongst us are able to find better days amongst the ashes of what's happened. And I hope that even if we shall never forget, we shall try to forgive. And I know that's a constant battle. I walk amongst you all still here, as you never grow older. Self-pitying young man who did a lot of people, but it's not about me. It's about you all. What you fought for, what you lost, remember who you fought for. I promise one day, once my obligations to my comrades here are over, I promise I'll return and try and undo some of the damage I've caused. Perhaps one day I may even forgive myself. But that's a big cup to fill. But
Okay.
I hope wherever any of you rest, you're happy.
As you're kneeling there saying that, especially when you're talking about yourself, self-pitiable and all that, what is Wade's state of mind? How vulnerable is he feeling? Or is this more of a performance for the other people? What's going through his heart, I guess?
That's I think it's kind of those moments where like all those thoughts that have been kind of like sifting in the back of your head for weeks, months, years, like a little faucet just comes like streaming out more and more, like in the stream of conscious. I guess when those walls that you kind of find yourself in amongst, like, say, Wade's officer decorum kind of come cracking apart slowly, one by one.
I think another way you could also word Tao's question is, would you be rolling a persuasion or a deception check? And I think it's persuasion.
Well, I got pretty good modifiers in both. Yeah. Well, but yeah, it's as honest as he can make it, trying to fight through the guilt.
Okay. Then You grab those cracks that you've already made when you first started revealing things coming to Misozu again. After all this, you're prying them open, you are forcing yourself to be vulnerable. And as you do, like you said, those emotions, they flow more freely than they have in years. Especially after that confrontation with S. And as you take on that state of mind, as you give that heartfelt address to the powers on high and maybe even the ghosts that, even if they're not visible, can still hear you, you feel as if you're bearing your soul for anyone to listen to or to look into. And a thrill in the earth beneath your knees shakes. And a mote of light bursts into being into the air in front of you.
Well, at least I don't have to grave rob now.
What?
Well,
How does that make any sense?
Crim is kind of out of earshot, and he mumbles to himself, "Oh, by the gods, I'm actually right."
Yes, you are, my friend.
What did you do, Wade? I don't understand.
I never really there. I tried to let it all out. Yet, as I gaze upon that, I can still only ask myself if I deserve it.
And more so than the other 2 times you've encountered, this whole time it's like bursts into the air and it's like trying to go directly at you. And you're forced to kind of like stand up and stumble away, at which point it would quickly slow down.
I think this one's yours, Wade.
We sure? Hold on.
Do you want it?
No, yeah, Cashmere will step beside him and like put his hand on his shoulder. We don't. This is the first time I've seen this happen. Are you sure this is such a good idea? I mean,
It's the same. It seems like the same kind of one as before, right? Crim kind of analyzes it from afar.
Well, this is the first time one of them has specifically sought out a person. We know from the past that, well, at least those if we had gotten these from 2 out of 3 times, it was by someone with very, very strong passions for something, well, not exactly benevolent. At least we know the motivations for this one.
Oops.
yeah.
Well, there was one who had good motivations.
That's why I said 2 out of 3. Not counting this one, I should clarify.
If I come back, you promise you won't stop me?
Well, if you go
I'll knock out cold myself.
Say that again, sorry, Doc.
I'll knock you out cold myself.
Hey, you're a good friend.
Yeah. Wait, are you like? We need to make sure. Like, if you take this, you'll still be Wade, right? You won't go crazy like the other ones.
Excuse me, I have not gone
Has
crazy
Turner
yet.
gone crazy yet?
Well,
I think he's been mostly normal.
Thank you, Crim.
we got those from other people, not from the ground. I don't know. This is different.
After all I've done, all the mistakes I've made, you call me normal?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, think about it for like 2 more seconds than what you would have done before.
As you're
Crim
thinking,
seems to be mentally counting.
okay, as you're thinking, S seems to have noticed this and just watching curiously from afar. And in addition, there's like a couple, looks like they were passersby on the path a little higher up, like overlooking the cemetery. A couple of uplifted dinosaurs, and they're also just watching it.
Unrelated, but thank you for saying that word correctly.
The ghosts that watch over me will never grow older. People I've killed or led to their death won't come back. Yet here I still stand. With this given before me. Who decides such things, and who deserves it? I doubt it'd be me. What did I say about self-pity?
I don't know who it could be but you in this situation.
The mode is now immobile, and if you give it enough space, it doesn't tend towards anyone. It's just there for the taking.
Is there any type of check we can try to do to determine what this might do? Or is it kind of like the first one where...
Well, it might have something to do with ghosts. Sorry.
No, wait, Buell can't take this one. He's not becoming a minion mancer again. No.
Oh no!
Look what you've done.
I'll find something for my bonus action.
I suppose, yeah, you could roll a check, however. Yeah, you could.
Okay, Arcana...
Just had a cold... Like, I was thinking
Arcana.
about... the moment you said ghost, I, like, put it together in my head, and I'm like... There was just this cold realization of, wait,
Oh no.
this is
We've
going to
been
be...
here before. For those who don't know who are watching, Bugle loves to play Minion Mancer characters in D&D whenever he gets the chance. He loves to just, like, stack up his action economy.
Action economy is king.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn, that's a 19 on the die, so that's going to be 26... Or wait, what's my bonus right now? Arcana
It's king unless you're
plus
playing a summoner in
10,
Pathfinder.
29.
Yeah.
Shit.
And it's just
29
decent.
because of expertise.
29. Well, let me put this in Foundry.
just like, all right, you know what, whatever.
I can never predict what my dice are going to be. Which I know is the point of dice, but I guess they're doing their job.
Let's see.
Thing.
So it's permanent speak the dead, and you get more than 3 questions.
Well, keep an eye on the ellipses at the end.
Oh yeah, fuck. Yeah. Oh yeah, goddammit, it's gonna turn me mad.
Just don't do it too much, or else you'll become a hex maniac.
Again, it's like the Wings of Fire, like the Animus, is that what they're called?
Only
Oh,
caveat
man,
is that
are
it
you gonna
turns you
take
evil.
it or not?
Well, I sure can't let you out too, can I? Big good man. Well,
As if there are
thank
two
you all
other
for
candidates.
true enough.
I'm not taking this. No thanks.
Wade gives a little.
Well, I mean, aside from Cashmere, I guess I was the closest one to death as well, but,
Thank you all for watching over me. I hope in my life I shall do the same. With a little shaky step forward, Wade just kind of holds his paw out like this.
And also, as you say those words, even before you've stepped forward, it begins to gravitate towards you, and then boom, icing on the cake. Flows into you, that light fills you, settles somewhere in your chest. And you know innately that it does just what Turner's analysis suggested.
And he's absolutely certain that this was not emanating on a grave. Someone given to this post-mortem,
Well, there are unmarked graves that exist.
perhaps. Well, the same advisory I would have given myself. Don't use this thing just nonchalantly. If there's
You know,
There's someone that you absolutely need to speak to, or a situation that could be the difference between life and death.
this does
True.
teach us something, though. It seems that these powers, if you're skilled enough at it, you could voluntarily bequeath them to something, even the ground, waiting for someone worthy to take it again. That's kind of interesting, don't you think? I'm gonna write this down.
That might be what
Perhaps-
happened.
Perhaps it could be passed on before madness.
I love
Well.
Doug.
That's precious if I've ever heard it.
What did Doc say?
That might be what happened.
Oh, well,
I promise I shall not use it frivolously. Although, if you allow me one indulgence, as Wade tries to channel it and looks around to the graveyard. I'd like to see my brother one last time, if that's all right.
oh, okay. Just be careful.
Turn into a habit.
That's sick. Yeah, give me 1 minute here. Oh, no, I have it right here. Never mind. Okay. You think about him, picture him in your mind's eye, and when you open your eyes, there he is. The very same. That uplifted wolf. Same kind of facial structure, even though you're the opposite species. And again, a little younger. I don't know if wolves wag their tails. He's wagging his tail a little bit.
You've aged quite well, brother.
Thank you. I suppose I'm graceful in some ways. Perhaps death hurried it along.
Oh, you're more graceful in defeat than I am. What's better, knowing you've lost, or knowing that the world is better off for it? But I'm glad we have this. Perhaps someday, when this is all over, I have a bit more chance to use power frivolously. You can eat my ass in cards again.
I'd like to say I like that, brother. Death changes you. I'm at peace. I'm only here because you haven't quite attained yours. And even if I sound wise and distant, you've lived. I haven't. You'd be able to provide yourself better answers and that peace more than I could. But hey, if playing cards again and getting whooped is what you need, I can oblige.
Well, there are a lot of mosquitoes here. I wouldn't want to keep you.
Yeah, always good to stay on the move. Keep covered when you sleep. I know.
Yeah, fighting forth. Well, before I go, someday, when I find contentment, I see it passed on. But for now, I think this belongs to you. I think use that little sketchbook and just finds one of the stones and just like sets it next to it. Maybe like pops up on one of the pages.
He reaches for it and is able to lift it up.
Oh, jeez.
Although it looks like he's really struggling, not physically, but it just takes more time. His form kind of wavers as he does so. He holds it up to his eyes. Kind of flips through the pages. It takes him a few tries. He smiles. Again, that kind of distant, cold yet warm smile. Thank you.
Impressive in death as in life, brother. I'll leave a stencil of a charcoal. Perhaps you can finish some of the sketches.
I don't know if I'll be here when you leave.
Right. tame, but I'll make do what we have.
He looks past you for a sec, just, keep him safe, please. And thanks for what you did here.
Oh, yes, of course. We'll do our best, Mr. Ghost.
Ford. Ford Crossing.
Ford. Good. Are there any... There doesn't happen to be like a weird spiritual dragon person that happens to give people inspiration now and then, right? Just wondering, out on a limb. Kind of don't really have the chance to ask that sort of thing to dead people that often.
Come on, brother, this is important.
He considers, and his tail stills. He looks a lot like Wade with the posture he just did. And then, if there is, I wouldn't know. I've seen beyond, but it's not exactly a high view.
That's alright. Was worth a shot. Just trying to piece a few weird things together, that's all.
Good luck.
Appreciate it, brother. Lastly, I suppose, at time to visit, he takes the whistle around his neck and just kind of twirls it in his hand. You can see it's very old and rusted. Any words from Mom and Dad? I might visit. I don't visit your stone often enough, but I suppose I have a new place to visit now.
Right. Mom and Dad. Wow. Sorry I broke that vase. It was me, not you. You could tell them the truth. Thanks for covering for me. That's it.
I will get grounded every day. You have my word, they'll never know. Alright, well, appreciate it. And if you can touch, then that means we could... But he tries to hug him. Okay.
Roll a... No, you are able to hug him. It's not like you can feel him. It's not like there's resistance, but there is somehow a sense of form there. Maybe it's not as rewarding as you'd hoped, but it is him. That much you can tell.
Just kind of soaks in it for a few moments before putting the subject away. Tell me it again, brother. Gives a little salute.
He gives you a salute. And as always, his pinky fingers wobbles a little bit. The form is not perfect. Not that he notices.
I figure that'd be a good moment for him to just slowly fade away as the Wade lets the power dissipate.
So he does. And you feel no different in terms of the power's use.
Okay, well, do you feel normal? Aside from the emotional part of what just happened, do you feel normal otherwise?
I think I finally know my true purpose in this world.
Oh no, he's going crazy. Okay.
And that is what exactly?
I think he's messing with us.
No. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Tell us what it is, Wade.
Yes, you cold-blooded vet. Oh, dude, I can't even say it anymore. I've turned yellow, more than I already am. I'm sorry for that, by the way. Shall we hit the trail? I do want to say one last goodbye to gestures over to us, the distance.
Yeah, sure. Maybe don't tell her about what just happened in case. I think
Wasn't she watching?
I think she had her closure a bit ago.
Were they watching?
Well, I'll say I could keep the powers discreet. So my knowledge of them. Sorry, monopolized attention all.
What were you going to say, Alex?
I've got something else I want to do in town first. It's gonna take a while.
Oh yeah, you've been itching to use those druidic powers on the grass, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
You do a lot, friend, more than I ever could. I'll admit, God, it might take a year, but you're persistent. Well, no. That's why we'll just give a quick little walk back. That's right.
Yeah. Able to leave the spot, maybe part ways temporarily, maybe not. Do you want to do like zoomed in for this, Bugle, or not?
Just something real quick, I suppose.
Yeah, she's watching you as you approach. Doesn't look like a look of understanding, more like a curiosity.
Hope you had as good of a visit as I did.
Yeah, so first time he chose to appear after the way this cemetery's been. A little frustrating, but he said I wasn't ready. That his presence will only make things worse. Maybe he was right. Don't know.
So we're all stuck with each other on this rock. I'll say what I said to them. I have some obligations with my companions right now, but if you all will have me, I hope to come back someday. Try and help make this uniform mean something better.
You have to convince a lot of people more than me. I was someone who had it hard. I didn't realize how much guilt I had. Maybe some other people are messed up in different ways too. But for me, yeah, sure. You definitely owe us. Come on back.
Of course. It's more than I ever could hope for. And you're good company. But in spite of all that's happened, I've appreciated us, and you'll stand out. I wish to sharpen you in friendship. If not that, or at least acquaintance.
She looks like she's about to say something snarky, but she doesn't. And just shakes your hand, looking you in the eye.
Yeah, it's like one away from ones that like grab each other's wrist and just.
It's like me when I want to make a quip, but I realize it's a somber moment.
Yeah. She does a mock salute that's like playfully mocking, and says, "Get out of here. You've got other things to do, I'm sure."
Likewise. All right, let's get a move on. The trail awaits. Turns back. Shall we?
Well, I think we gotta make ourselves comfortable for a little while.
Back in town?
Yeah, so you probably should have saved that goodbye for a little while. I'll say this in character.
Oh yeah, if
You're gonna have to do it
we both
again
have
now.
we both going to need to keep walking in the same direction. Oh god.
Oh, well, I mean, we could just hang out for a little bit and do the good old silent goodbye as you just leave later, but I get the feeling that when we leave, we might leave things a little better off than before.
I hope so.
Imagine that.
Alright.
Guys, I need a cigarette.
With that, hanging out in the graveyard, hanging out in town, S walking a different way from you. Or like a side path to get back to town.
They're like trying their best to keep to not be in like the same area in town for the next 8 hours, and like, dang, we both had to go to the library. Wait, this place is a library?
Oh, I read about those in the light novels.
You're able to get back to town. Yeah, I suppose it is a town. It's a very different style of town. Harkito. People would ask you eventually what happened in the graveyard. You're walking to be vague. And yeah, Alex, what are you doing exactly?
I'm going to ask somebody to show me where the fields are that got salted.
Got it. One moment. Yeah, they would take you a bit of a different direction, sort of southeast out of town. Looks like it was a previously well-trod path, cleared of trees. Now there's some saplings and some heavy undergrowth covering that path. Takes like 5 minutes, and then there's again, similarly previously well-kept clearing, large clearing, that you mark as crop fields, but they're barren. It's like some really rugged, yellowy things that are peeking out of the soil, but it's quiet. It's a little absence of bird song and animal noises that usually surround you in this place. As Sliad, the uplifted T-Rex, points it out with a somber tone. These are the crop fields we used to have. They were salted and burned.
I don't know if what I'm about to try is going to work. It might do nothing, so don't get your hopes up too high, but I'm going to try.
He shrugs. He's interested.
You may not find it particularly worthwhile to stand around and watch. This is going to take a long time.
I'm a patient man.
Alex is going to go and
Take a board.
pull out his staff, stake it into the ground, and he'll start a series of, using his hands and, tracing patterns in the soil. Kind of, making some incantations. And, periodically there'll be times when he just kind of sort of kneels down and focuses, kind of channeling the magic energy into the ground, kind of goes back and forth doing these various things over the course of several hours. And I am going to cast Plant Growth, selecting the enrichment option.
Oh. And looking at the list, this looks like all plants half-mile radius yield twice as much food. Okay.
2 times 0 is still 0.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about.
I did something like this.
Depends on how it's interpreted. For example, it could be a multiplier, but it could also be something linear, and it just results from 0 to an extra,
Yeah.
which is plus
Is
1.
it times 2 or is it 1 plus 1?
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
Yeah.
it lasts for literally an entire year. So if they actually get the land here, in somewhat of somewhat of order, it'll last for a while.
I'd like you to roll a nature check, please, to identify the young variants of certain species. Alex?
Can I use my herbalism kit proficiency to
yes.
identifying plants to gain advantage on that roll?
Oh, yes. That is...
A moment where you can actually use your tools, please.
Wow.
Am I wrong? Unless it's these tools.
Or industrial healing potion making.
That wasn't particularly great. I got a 13. Although the DC apparently for the herbalism kit is supposed to be 10.
So it's a patient man, but he leaves you to your weird druid stuff after 20 minutes.
Weird
But-
stuff.
As you exit that focused state of mind, an amount of time you would guess is 8 hours from what people have told you in the past when you did rituals like this, you notice there's a few people who are murmuring excitedly, and as you draw your attention in full back to what you're actually seeing rather than the spell you're casting, you begin to see, next to all these rugged things emerging from that once black and fertile soil, are some new shoots with bright green young health dotting them all over. Not all the exact same kind. There seems to be a whole bunch in this patch, a whole bunch in that patch, and this cleared field is pretty big. It's like farmland, effectively. And with your check, you would know that one of these patches is a strange type of grape called Bromeliaceae, and another patch is going to grow cacao trees that might be made into chocolate one day. You're not able to identify one of the other ones. But yeah, definitely crops, definitely things meant to yield food. They're not overflowing right now, ripe and mature, but they will be, despite the salt.
Guess I'll just kind of turn to some of the people watching. That's not going to take care of everything on its own. You'll still need to take care of it, but hopefully it helps a little.
You're unable to finish that because you are suddenly... Oh, the wind is knocked out of you from uplifted Spinosaurus. She looks like she's 20 or so, hugging you. And she holds you at arm's length. Her eyes are sparkling with tears. And she says something about... I'll tell the others. I have to tell them all. It's a miracle. And she grabs the person next to her and they hurry away in front of you back to town.
What a coincidence, because she just broke his spine.
She turns over her shoulder. That's why they call me the Spinosaurus.
I said Wade's got a subdued, soft little smile, just seeing the commotion. He's staying in the back.
Yeah, from your perspective in town, you see these people come in and word is rapidly spreading. People are leaving their homes, leaving their trades, and on your way back, Alex, you are accosted with many, many thanks.
Yeah, Crim, who had been studying looking around if there are any books that he can get for this area, he notices the commotion. He's like, "Oh, I think Alex finished, and I think he did it right."
Yeah.
He's kind of smiling a bit.
I'm guessing I only got a relatively small percentage of everything that's there, right? Because it covers...
Not very much.
I mean, it covers, I guess, about a mile.
Something.
Yeah, half-mile radius, 1 mile diameter. That's a lot of spots.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, not all of it is
Actually, wait.
is farm fields, but still.
yeah, that's
Hang
kind
on,
of what
I
I'm
can-
thinking. The area is probably quite large.
Yeah, it's a small town, though, especially with certain population losses.
And
But-
Turtle just kind of mentioned that, well, if we have to make another stop on our way back.
Wait, this might actually be substantial. Let me,
Quick, farmer calcs.
don't mock me, this is important.
Okay.
No one may see a hero.
Give me 1 sec.
Okay, so if the radius was a half mile, that means that its area would be 0.79 square miles, which means that Alex just produced approximately 500 acres of fertile land.
You're pretty good.
If it were corn, do you know how much that would feed?
Yeah, corn's very efficient, or potatoes.
This would be like 0.001% of Iowa.
Well,
I heard they make plants with potatoes grow in the roots and then tomatoes grow on the stem.
well, 1 acre of corn can result in approximately 30,000 ears. So, I think they're good.
Yeah.
I heard that.
As long as they like corn.
We weren't growing corn. Why did you give us corn?
That's terrible for us. We cannot digest it.
Just a fiber.
We don't have mills. These are useless.
What do we
Well,
use
for
this as
this-
fuel?
just
Fuel what? This
Okay.
isn't stem roots.
Huston reunites with you too. Looks like he wants to ask you lots of questions once you're out of here. But, yeah. Anything else you want to get done?
Wow, Alex, you, that's some rare magic, I think. I mean, look at him.
Is that what I was supposed to do?
You're a good man.
What did
The best
Alex
of
say?
us.
You probably didn't catch it.
What am I supposed to do? I know if you come across them, you've done regardless, but still. You toiled for all that time in the process of undoing one of my mistakes after I mistreated you.
All about teamwork. I
Yeah,
don't think any of us could have done all of this on our own.
yeah, Alex, you're pretty proficient in that. Have you done it before?
I was familiar with the principle.
Familiar?
Oh, I can relate. I read a lot of things to get familiar with them, but you never really get the chance to put them in practice while you're stuck in a room.
So you both can use familiars?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Alex blinks several times.
Kezra shakes his head. Well, I think we made a pretty good impact here, and that's More than I can say if we just sat here and sold silk.
Thank you all.
And to think, we gotta sell silk in other places soon, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see a tangible benefit, something that people can actually know that you did that.
Oh, I've read about intangible benefits before. You see, by making them prosper more, they'll buy more silk next year.
Well,
Yeah, it's all
honestly, I
economics and
kind of
logistics.
wish they didn't know it was me, but it was kind of unavoidable.
Well, at least they know who to search for now. Well,
Yeah.
you should wear a mask.
With your luck, they might even make a statue of you. Might be pretty flattering,
Right.
actually.
You damn well deserve it. Well, should
Reminds the
recruit
feeling that
Bastion?
Alex wants to now leave as soon as possible.
Hey, Widow will try and find a house dump, that's alright.
You find him. He looks like he's raring to go. He wants to get a
Yeah, right,
Sunflag.
girlfriend. Yeah, hope this place hasn't spooked you. You look like you've seen a ghost.
Wow.
He doesn't get it and just chuckles with a good nature. Oh, ready to go? Sunflag? Don't know if we'll need the
Yes.
halting flame anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's, please no.
And with that, and with Alex
remember-
gaining resolve, you're
Just
able to head
remember
out.
you chose to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Crim, how does lamp oil taste?
Bad. Have you ever had a salad, but they put way too much oil in it? Imagine that, but like you take away all the spice too, and then you add a beetle.
You lost me at have you had a salad?
And you remove the salad, probably.
Well, I mean, kind of tasted like salad if I close my eyes.
Burns like it.
The journey begins. You pass through a different village after a couple hours heading east. It looks very similar to the previous, except there's no cemetery and no evidence of recent infernos. But there's also... They seem down on their numbers and luck and prosperity, just like Arkido was. They say it's Koropu is the name of the town.
Well, they don't get backstraight. Let's move on.
Cashmere, you remember this from your youth. It's like an ancient memory you never realized.
Whoa!
No. Just kidding.
Can't believe it.
And, maybe a bit of silk is sold, but not as much. It's not as cohesive of a location. They asked for the update. You're able to keep going.
Yeah, that sounds good. We would help around where we could while they were there.
And days start to pass by. You quickly pass the point where you had turned right, following the tarantula and your own instincts before that to deal with the druid situation. Now you're on a straight path to Sunflag. 1 day, 2 days, 10 days will pass here. In so much time, reflecting on the journey so far is not an option. It's an inevitability. What topics come up as you all chat? Theories, worries, hopes, desires. Is there anything the party wants to talk about here?
I suppose we could ask Crim specifically what he was at, like the guy he was asking for from Ford. Like, does it have to do with his reincarnation?
Oh, that one's a tricky one. You see, I'm actually not entirely sure what was the cause of it, but you see, and this would be talking while like Huston's away doing sales or something, and he remarks, "Well, while I was young, and in retrospect, thinking about it, sometimes I swear I just see a dragon in the sky." Or something like just above the clouds, so you only like see it for a moment. Like maybe it was just me seeing things because I was dying and stuff. But there's also just this thought that maybe there was some dragon spirit looking out for me and giving me advice on what to do. Now, it never actually gave me advice or anything. It was kind of an accident for some of those, and me just realizing on my own. Never actually talked to me either, kind of just stood there. But the last dream I had of that dragon was my final day as a bird, where I seemed like it was gonna offer to take me on a flight. And I said no, I wanted to do it with my own wings, and... I can't remember what happened after that. Some kind of realization. Must have been about the ritual.
You made your own flight with scaled wings afterwards.
Yeah, and, still working on that part. I'm trying to practice when we have some free time how to fly, but it's almost there. It's almost there.
I look forward to it. Yeah. Sometimes positive presence is all the guidance one needs. Well, it's a bit morbid, but like if I went to where you reincarnated and used my power, would there be a bird spirit? Oh god, I'm not gonna do that.
That'd be pretty weird.
I have my doubts. He's still alive.
Oh yeah, I'm also still alive.
I'm not sure how
Same
the...
soul in there.
Yeah.
The ritual definitely specified that much.
Fair enough. And you, Alex, are elusive as ever with sorcerer great powers. I certainly don't mind, but it speaks to mine interest.
I mean, really anybody could learn them as long as you just, found someone to teach you.
Yeah, true enough. You're the dedicated sort. And all this was just in the service of getting out of your village, was it?
Yeah, I suppose.
Was your time with your village okay, or were you just stir crazy, or don't want to talk about it?
I imagine quite reclusive.
People wanted me to be something that I'm not.
And you don't want to elaborate at all?
Not particularly, no.
Maybe he wanted to be a farmer. I mean, he didn't want to be a farmer, but they taught him about how to be a farmer, and that's how he knows that spell.
I've known that. Second one.
What was important is that you found your calling with what you're doing now, I imagine?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And you're with us, and you'll be able to do more plant things.
Huston returns at that moment from a little sale he was doing. Yeah, and you'll make lots of gold. Who else would like gold?
Yeah, lots of gold. Lots of gold.
Well, if you don't want to be a hero, I can still think of you as a good man.
I can live with that.
I have known lads who want to leave their hometowns. They just pick a crossbow, sign a piece of paper. It's less difficult, but less useful.
Oh, I get it. That's morbid. Thinking about, I can kind of relate to wanting to. Well, I guess it's the opposite actually. I wanted to be something that I wasn't, and did it. But I guess this is more people imposing that on you. That's less fun.
And well, in our case, it wasn't that we wanted to be alive. It was more that we just wanted to live.
Oh, I was talking about being a dragon, but that also works.
Oh.
I don't think anyone actually wanted me dead, least of all my parents. Or my village.
Also, Cashmere, you're still with us. I thought you ducked away.
I think it might have a few times.
He looks around a bit, and then, like, almost surprised that you're asking him in particular. And he just shrugs. I've thought about it a lot. And I don't know. I figured I had nothing better going on. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's leave it at that. How about that?
I was speaking... I respect that. I was talking about more in the short term. You seem always preoccupied sometimes.
Don't you sneak off sometimes, seemingly randomly?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I like to think a lot.
Oh.
Huston,
it's not sneak.
Huston's taking a break from, like, driving the lizards, and he kind of elbows you, Wade. Hey, doesn't it speciesist to say a rabbit sometimes needs a bit of time away from all the commotion. But we don't hold it against you, Cashmere.
Yeah, fair.
No. It's understandable. I mean, I'm not exactly a common species around here, I think. Yeah, it's the ears. Listen, it's the ears. I can hear a lot, and I like to be away for a while.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Can you hear when people are hungry?
He raises an ear. What does he hear? Tal, what does he hear?
Roll a perception check with advantage.
All right.
We'll say Turner hasn't eaten in about 6 hours.
Well,
Eats like a bird, he does.
Okay, roll 2. That is
it's like
2 8s.
16 hours
14.
in bird time.
I rolled 2 8s. Okay, cool.
You hear occasional stomach rumbling from Turner and definitely from Huston.
Cashmere will point at Turner. We need to get you some food.
Crim's eyes
kind of
practically, possibly literally because he's a light dragon, sparkle in fascination.
What do you like to eat, Turner? Tell me.
Food? Sorry, you kind of put me on the spot there.
Yeah. Your man that likes hardtack and ship's biscuits and salted pork.
Let's go with that.
I can show the basics.
You know what I like? Corn. And he looks at Alex.
I
just-
didn't even make any corn.
I'll just assume
Yeah,
our little banter was at some point someone joked about that in character.
Yeah.
I always thought the layout for that city was confusing. It was full on maze.
Huston chuckles and... Can you actually make corn, Alex? I like corn.
Well,
Cannot conjure corn out of thin air, no.
imagine the spell for that conjure corn.
I mean, create food and water.
Then what good is it, Alex?
Well, will their corn be salted? Like pre-salted?
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Salted, fire, it makes popcorn.
Probably
Got it.
Despite everything that's happened, that's probably the darkest stroke yet.
Oh,
And,
God. So,
you begin to hear an increasingly horrific creaking noise every rotation of one of the wagon wheels, and then a crack, and one of the wagons tilts to the side.
Turner just
Oh,
just
damn it.
lets out a very frustrated groan. I can never escape
That's
it.
not good.
Do you mind, Turner?
Yes, but we have to get out of here, don't we?
appreciate it,
Can you
man.
help lift this, please?
Oh, sure.
I'll pass you the tools.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well,
I
I'm
should
following you
find more
anyways.
Crim seems puzzled by that cryptic statement by Turner, but he assists with his strength.
With Crim as a jack and the good lighting and stuff, you are able to see a kind of old, sort of rotted-looking axle, probably from the climate around here. Just broke. Should be an easy fix.
This shouldn't take too long.
How are you trying to fix it?
Magic. If nothing seems to be completely lost, does it seem like just a basic mending spell would kind of be able to get the cracks sealed, get everything back in place, back together, or would it require replacing, creating new parts?
Short-term, mending would work, but it's not going to alter the properties of the wood, so you might have to do this every couple days, you think. Or you
How
could
far
try
away from
and
the town?
brace it and replace it. You're in the middle of Misozu jungle right now, so
Okay. Then
not
yeah,
far.
he would maybe go and look through whatever supplies that they might have to see if there's something that can either be done to fortify it or outright replace it if possible. You can't quite shape stuff into a new wheel or whatever, probably.
Okay.
At least not with what they have on hand, but at the very least, he thinks it should be enough to get them to their destination, and they can do a bit more of a thorough fix at the next town.
Give me a intelligence carpenter's tools check.
Proficiency in that. Let me check. Nope, I have tinkers and jewelers. Okay, and this is probably not something where guidance would do the trick. Or
There's no
help out.
skill involved, so no.
All right. Damn, that sucks.
There's no skill involved in this. Anybody could do it.
Exactly. Okay. So just intelligence. Okay. 11 on the die. I'll shoot for a better roll. He wants to speed this. He wants to make sure this stays. 14 on the die. 18.
18. Yeah, you're able to make use of some of the spare spars and pieces of wood, kind of bind it up, support it better, switch it out a little bit. And now you don't think you'll have to cast mending for a good long while. Takes you about an hour to get it fixed. Huston gives you a hearty pat on the back.
He stumbles forward and has to catch himself on it. Like,
Mhm.
thanks.
Invaluable, invaluable. Love it. Thank you so much.
I want to have Cashmere chime in here. Probably while he's working on it, actually. Turner's working on it. He'll, like, lean up against the cart, arms crossed, and be like, "Hey, Turner!
Yes.
So, and he eyes Crim, because he's still there. Crim told me once that it's not that awkward to ask about your real name, or bird name."
Kind of looks back. It is usually less awkward when you don't start this sentence off with, Crim said that it's not awkward when.
Oh, it's because I used to be a bird.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Who?
So I said you have the bird pass.
I gave him the B card.
Forget I added that part then. I'm just curious, that's all.
It's not really a bird name in my case. It's. Do you know much about the brouhaha?
Can't say that I do.
Well, we typically get our names when we create something new to this world. That becomes your brouhaha name. Until then, you're well. Some like to say nameless, but it's more descriptive than anything.
And from what my quartermaster said, they had a primitive contribution to making of these. And he holds out his like the rubber band pistol that he carries around in a holster. Just kind of like spins it around.
Well, they usually try to call themselves pacifists, but
True. Yeah, force through peace, or peace through force. Anyway,
I
so
can
you're still
imagine.
you made your creation that brought your name, or no?
not exactly.
Yeah. Then what's the strange to you? Just more research for the academics as yourself?
I guess, like Alex, they wanted me to be something that I didn't really see myself as, but I can't lie and say that the skills don't come in handy every now and then. Even helps pay for a lot of my tuition.
Oh god. By the gods, are you in debt?
No.
Well, that's good.
This is not America, don't worry. So I'll get into.
That's the one curse that's a lot harder to dispel.
Look, we can't be, we can't worry too much about any debt collectors along the road here. I'm just glad we don't have to deal with it. Anyway, what were we saying?
I don't know, what were you saying?
There aren't many birds as good with their wings as you are.
Well, considering mine just started working again.
Sure enough.
Again?
Yeah, what happened?
Took a bit of a nasty fall.
A bird taking a fall.
I thought it was like injuries. You get a cut. You get something. You gotta say like a shark bit you, or you were struck by lightning or something.
Now, was it in
Do the
combat?
reverse.
Like, not combat, athletics.
I see.
Austin
Yeah,
blinks
fair
and
enough.
looks like at all of you guys surreptitiously, like, this guy, athletics?
I was
Athletics, not acrobatics.
They're the same thing now, dummy.
Well,
Fingers
Hey, it
crossed.
looks deceiving.
I
Just look at me. Flaps his arms.
I wasn't terrible at it. I just, don't ask me to bench press anything, but
Fair enough. Yeah, man of many talents, I can respect that.
yeah. Well, if you ever have the opportunity to see a game of arcane dodgeball, you'll understand why I was maybe out for a while.
Is it like magic missiles and shields?
I'd rather you see it for yourself.
Fair enough. And I did want to ask, I know you mentioned we should all use these conservatively, but I figure you've all more than earned it. Is there anyone you'd all like to see with what I've just been given?
Oh,
Not me.
Not really. I was kind of closer to being one of the ones to be summoned than summoning anyone. Thankfully, not a lot of tragedy otherwise. More like a tragedy averted, actually.
So, lucky man. Alex?
No, I can't say so.
Fortunately, I don't think I've ever really lost someone I was close to.
That's good. You're all saving my sanity. In many ways.
Says the one who is offering it.
Cashmere just narrows his eyes at that.
And you hear... Oh, this is while it's being... Okay, so you're not in motion.
And Cashmere does look back down at Turner. You never did say what your name was, by the way. I asked you, but you never said it.
You did not specifically ask me.
Well, I am now.
It was a near.
Say
Where?
that again?
It was a near.
Near where?
He just kind of looks at
That's a
you.
nice name.
Your name was Anir?
Near.
Near. Like,
As I said, they were descriptive, and then he kind of just like puts his adjusts his glasses.
oh, I get it
Huh.
now.
A fair amount of us have amusing names, don't we?
Well, it's more to encourage you to earn your brouhaha name.
Seems like a self-fulfilling
Oh.
prophecy.
So, it was derisive, is what you're saying? Like they made fun of you with it?
For what it's worth, we have something kind of similar in my village. Not necessarily derisive. It's more like when you make accomplishments in your life, you add a note to your name. I had 3 notes.
Mention the sum of the whole choir. Also, Turner, if you want to rub it in their face, you have that power of extreme competence. I mean, I know, again, don't use it frivolously, but hey, if they give you a newspaper.
Don't tempt
Maybe we shouldn't be talking about abusing those powers in case they make us go crazy.
Yeah,
Hey,
true.
Crim, I'm curious, did you get another symbol when you kind of gestures at him?
Well, I couldn't really pronounce my old name anymore, so I didn't really see the point. Maybe if I ever find out how, or if there's a need, or I was thinking when I return home after whatever my world exploring would be, I'd get my 4th note. Even if I can't say it, I could still, write it down or something, so be worth it.
Well, usually I only ever play the whistle, but maybe someday I can pick an instrument and play it.
Who knows? Maybe by the end of this journey, you'll have a full song. Wouldn't that be cute?
Max is out at 5, but okay.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
With that, I propose we take a break.
Break! Cool!
You have a song to fill all of those.
BRB.
BRB!
Nice.
Zwei.
Well, I was more thinking like different
Fun.
languages, I should say. Hello, guys.
Thanks. Hello.
Suddenly,
Sudden
you come
death.
across
Oh.
a bridge across a chasm.
Oh, right into it. Okay.
Everyone knows in this world who is of sufficient age and not living under a rock that this is a shot with a capital S. If you didn't have a
yeah.
compass, this would serve to point you toward Karifi if you followed it for a while and kind of took the average heading of this jagged chasm that is rent to the earth. It's like, let's see, how far away are we from Karifi? Oh, right, extremely far.
A lot.
Here it's probably like 10 feet across. Like you could jump if you had a really good running start maybe, or if you were freaking Crim or Wade or Cashmere. Anyway, there's a humble bridge built here that has seen many wagons crossing it. There's nothing really special about it. It's overgrown and it's just a big sudden break in the terrain in a place that doesn't have a lot of ups and downs. And you would all know that Karifi, that ruined and now rebuilding city, the quintessence of the Scindia society founded by Devron, the Uniter, was the origin of the Scatter 171 years ago. And these shots that have rent the landscape everywhere across this continent are evidence of that.
Like trenches on a battlefield. Hey, Turner, can our cart take the weight on that? Do you know?
What kind of a check would I do here?
Yeah, I guess it'd be. Well, how were you approaching the problem?
I guess maybe trying to can you kind of explain what the actual obstacle here is a bit more clearly?
There's a chasm about 10 feet across, and there's a simple arcing wooden bridge without supports crossing it. It looks very old. There's like some vines growing around one of the banisters.
And basically, it probably looks like the weight of the cart would probably potentially destroy it.
Maybe.
I mean, it's made this journey several times before.
He'll kind of look to Huston. Has this been a frequent obstacle?
Huh? Oh no, it's just a bridge. I think it's held up. I think it's the same one.
Sometimes the bridge is the bridge.
He'll take a look at it and I guess just try to determine does it look like it's about to crumble onto them? Does it seem like it can still withstand this for only 2 trips at least?
Perception check then.
Oh, I'm not good at these.
I can do one.
Okay.
Oh, well, my dice that I have. That is a nat 20.
Fuck.
None. Okay.
Can we roll with advantage?
Well,
You look at it, it looks very sturdy. You can see the places where the wheels have gone across it. There's not a crack in those boards. In fact, it looks like it's probably being maintained, at least some broken pieces, if they ever have existed, swapped out with new ones. You have no doubt in your mind that, unless bandits or a troll or something harass you, the bridge itself will be fine.
Okay.
We'll be fine. Let's just go across.
Taos sidestepping all the tropes.
Trolls
yeah,
don't
we'll walk
exist in
ahead
this
then.
world. It's too
Um,
cliche, high fantasy.
Okay, well, while you do that, I'd like to just Crim kind of leans over. I want to get a close look at that while we're going over. I read about them all the time, but I never saw one up close like that.
Crim, he rolled a nat 20.
I wouldn't mind observing this thing as well.
No, this is just Crim wanting to see a shot. That's it. There's nothing crazy for that.
You're peering into the chasm, looking left, looking right. It is a little bit jagged, but this portion is straight. It's just a precipitous break, like something so powerful made such a perfect break in everything, slicing through boulders, through trees, through everything. I keep saying the word everything and everything.
Don't fall in,
We're all-
Crim. We just went through one dark area. We don't need to explore the depths now.
When's the sky?
And there's a as the wheels go across the wooden boards of the bridge. You're able to cross it. Nothing happens.
Yeah, this is skill challenge resolved. Yeah. Turner, my research tells I'm always more interested in military stratagem. Do you know what caused these shots, like, specifically? I know the events, but was it ever resolved what actually happened that day? Or...
How common knowledge would that be, Tal?
Not common.
Common enough for Crim to have read about?
Perhaps. What do the dice say? History check.
I'll roll a history as well, especially since I'm being asked.
Wow, it's the second time I've rolled a 17 on history.
Ooh, an 18 on the die, 25.
Very well, very well. Double checking my notes. Here's the timeline. Here's the
Time for us to rehash old memories.
Sorry, 17 and 29?
25.
Okay. Okay, so... we all know those great heroes, the Song of Bos. They told the world about this other civilization, this other place. The other place is actually multiple planes, we'll call them, and blah blah blah. There wasn't too much... No, neither of you would know specifically what caused that energy to be released. Something about maybe a ritual or communication, something bad that these Outclassed did to sabotage the world, created an explosion. Just a humongous magical explosion in Karifi.
Huh, would they...
It was previously believed to be, this is the folly of all the species becoming overly ambitious and, being diverse and putting together their strange schools of thought. Oh, we were too foolish, let's do our own thing. But now it's like, no, okay, somehow the Outclassed caused this.
Wait, really? That's really what is being told?
Somehow the Outclassed have returned.
No, I'm genuinely asking this question from having played the previous campaign.
What's the concern? Is
Well,
it not accurate?
The Outclassed
Technically,
didn't...
no.
No, the Outclassed didn't cause it. The other people did. The
the Outclassed thing caused it.
Oh, I
Because
see what you mean.
the Outclassed were not the ones who caused it. They were kind of victims to it as well.
Yeah, your characters would think, regardless of past campaign stuff, whether due to propaganda or policies or a story that was made, Outclassed and people from other worlds, they're sort of synonymous. There isn't too much nuance there that was disseminated.
Okay.
Oh.
I guess Turner would basically give the gist of of what God had just told us, and he would just kind of add, yeah, I always got the feeling that there was a lot that was being left out intentionally, whether that was for the good of us that we don't know, or because they thought that it would maybe do more harm.
Well, it's a good thing the Outclassed didn't avoid his weapons.
It's a lot more than I read about.
Well,
The war.
my people had, at the very least, they had worked with the song for a short time on their journey, but well, we know a little bit, but not quite the full extent of it.
If they'd had two, the one never would have gone in our favor.
Same with a lot of my professors, or a few.
Huston looks a little bit embarrassed, and those of you who are perceptive would have noticed he was holding his breath as you crossed the bridge, and none of you were. He says nothing about it.
Damn it, Wade! Put the fear of a crash into both Turner and Huston's heads.
Yeah, don't worry, I prepped the spell to catch us.
I don't
Well,
think it's gonna catch an entire caravan.
No, it's not that. Never mind.
Were you
Anything
expecting?
wrong?
Are you expecting bandits?
No. Come on, we don't have to talk about it. I'm fine. We're fine.
well, now I don't know.
I think I do, and there's no shame in it.
This isn't something we need to worry about, is it?
Are you afraid of
Look,
heights?
the bridge looked kind of old, okay?
Are you afraid of heights?
Oh. I'm just... I guess we're all a little superstitious where I come from. With these sort of things. Scatter. Cynthia, it's just a little backcountry foolishness, I guess.
Oh, that if
Never
you
let you run around the
is
shops.
it like how if you breathe while over a shot that you'll lose your magic?
Well,
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
well, Crim, have you ever heard like the phrase, don't step on a crack or you'll break your mother's back? Well, this is a pretty big crack.
Oh,
How deep does it go?
Looks like about 15 feet. I've heard if you get close to Karifi, it's like worse.
That's putting it mildly.
All right. And the lizard, which just goes this and starts doing the waddling forward. Everyone make a wisdom saving throw, please.
All right,
Oh,
here we go.
That was very abrupt.
Hey.
And write your numbers in Foundry.
There we go. Are we all going to turn barrel?
Oh, what a great time for me to complete. Wow, this is going to be interesting because I just rolled wisdom save, right?
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
Hang on, let
I
me
got
double
resolve. I'm
check.
going to use on that.
What minuscule
15.
thing I just earned from that? Oh, joy. Alright.
15.
Thank you.
Wait, it's been a while. I'm gonna do my resolve. That 3 didn't happen.
Yeah, this is a roleplay session. We got like 3
Never
rolls per
mind, the
session.
3 did happen. Holy fuck.
Oh no!
Hey, give yourself like 3 times. Okay. Cool. You may learn why that is relevant shortly. Yep, journey continues. It's 10 days total. At one point, a huge feral tyrannosaur kind of comes a little too close, spooking the lizards. Perhaps you're able to fend it off. It's not particularly difficult.
Alex, can
Another-
you turn into that? Just kidding.
A couple other road events here and there, but largely it's a lot of talking. And how much do you fill Huston in on what happened in the jungle previously?
How much is he aware of the of the first one with Inchu?
First what?
with Inchu.
Yeah.
I believe you didn't tell him much about that.
You didn't?
I have to check my notes.
Because at the very
Yeah, I mean-
least, isn't like the government of that town pretty much aware of what he did, and he's basically in jail. I guess the question is, would we have kept Huston out of the loop on that?
He knows time was looping at least.
Yeah.
They probably don't know that Turner has the power though. So like, I guess it'd be up to you guys if you want if you want Huston to know about the powers.
I mean, Wade will be up to disclose it, but I guess it'd be better would everyone go along with it.
I mean, I'm probably not going to reveal Alex's abilities, but other than that, I see little reason to withhold a whole lot. I mean, I think the one who would be most likely to withhold information would be Wade, given how there were connections to certain events he may not want to talk about.
Yeah. Let's see. I think he'd be more or less transparent about what happened, including like even the ghosts of his old comrades and Fallen on showing up. I think the only thing he might maybe be played on the down low is maybe the ghost invited him to the graveyard to just find a sense of clarity and forgiveness with himself instead of it being like literally magical. It's like, oh, it was a metaphor.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Well, he enjoys hearing the story and is very engaged. Wants every detail, and you've got time to spare. But he takes whatever you give him.
Yeah, glad to be on the road again.
Cool. By the way, anything else we should be assuming that people are doing daily mechanically besides checking the weather? Any preparatory spells besides mage armor?
Oh, Wade's making his speeches for temp HP.
I guess that's something I should probably look into before some stuff happens, huh?
Yeah, how much temp HP do we have?
It's D8, number of D8s equal proficiency, so right now
Maybe
3D8.
just roll before.
3D4.
Maybe just like roll once like a combat or something happens.
Yeah.
That way we're not
Yeah,
going to keep track for days.
Yeah.
I will be using the chef feat to prepare some snacks.
Well,
Yum.
Every
right
day.
to the toes.
Yum.
Yum.
Well, unfortunately, I can only make 3 at a time, so...
Yeah, well, both of 3. Yeah, for way to like... Sorry, go on.
I can't think of anything mechanically relevant that Crim would be doing daily prep-wise.
Yeah. There's Cashmere.
Wade just being like a fussy mom, like checking everyone's equipment in the morning.
The mage armor coming from the Spider Silk Scepter?
I would assume so.
Okay. And Huston's gnawing a piece of wood.
Yes.
His teeth down. Yeah, very helpful.
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't need dark vision anymore since that spell is not quite necessary anymore. So
You guys got your sanctuary rest, so feel free to prepare stuff before things happen.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah. You arrive at Sunflag. You are getting close. Huston's warned you. Okay, you think you'll get there the next day.
Where's it on the map?
Oh, here.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering what it was.
You're pretty darn close to one of the edges of the world here. No coincidence that this is where Sunflag is. You, from what you have heard, or what Huston has mentioned once or twice, and your strategies for selling the silk once you get here, you're expecting a town, a shady, out-of-the-way town. And what you see is a big, empty clearing, half a mile wide. The wagons come to a stop. It's like the path sort of fades into obscurity, and there's nothing here.
We're at the right place, aren't we?
Cashmere double checks the maps. We should be. We didn't take a wrong turn somewhere, did we?
Huston, is it supposed to look like this? Is there, like, you have to get closer for the town to show up or something?
Huston is gone.
Wait,
Oh.
Huston?
Oh, good.
Is
I was
everybody
waiting
else?
for you to get
Is
scared
everybody
today.
else still here?
Everybody else is here. Huston had been walking along wagon, but looking where he was, he's not there, and nor are kind of the imprints of his paws in the mud.
Stick together, everybody.
Turner's going to think back to how long since the last time he'd seen Huston.
4 minutes.
So
You're
we're
not-
playing Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, and we have to go to 4 minutes before death.
Well,
Mm-hmm. I have a spell I could send to him, but I need that until tomorrow. Damn it.
Well, not exactly something we could have prepared for.
oh, this isn't good. Why do the weird things always have to happen?
Well,
That's a lot.
better rest you.
Are we missing something? I don't get.
What?
I don't get it. You go.
Yeah, this town wasn't like burned or destroyed. It was just gone, right?
Crim will try to investigate to see if there are any signs of a town having once been here.
Okay. Stepping forward into the empty clearing, roll investigation.
Investigation. One of the convenient things about having the same bonus for every single int skill is that I don't have to check my sheet, I just know it's a +6. 22.
This is a town-sized clearing, and why else would such a big space need to be cleared? Nah, the path didn't diverge. Surely this is where it's supposed to be. It must have moved, or something weird happened, but you're in the right spot.
Thinking from the perspective of some weird time shit just happened, Crim will follow up this investigation with, does it look like this is a place that is being prepped for a town?
Oh,
Take resolve.
Yeah. That's gonna.
damn! If that was the solution, I'd be like, "Dang it, Namo!" But fortunately, no. You don't see any sort of stakes or marked things or construction supplies. No, it's just gone. Like something just bloop, plucked it out.
Well, as far as I can tell, he brushes a paw along the ground. It isn't even that, there's a town that was here or will be here. I'm thinking of time, you know how that goes. All I can say is, if something was here, there's no trace of it.
I am gonna just walk forward a bit more and make sure I get past the point where we noticed that Huston was missing.
You're walking forward to do that, you said?
Yeah, into the clearing.
Okay. Roll perception check, please.
That is a 22.
22. Yeah. You notice the floor here is evened out too, as if to be made sturdy for buildings that aren't here. But yeah, you're looking around, there's definitely no sign of Huston, and you're well into the clearing now.
And I turn around and I still see everybody else there?
Yes.
Well, I
Dragons and lizards.
was wondering if maybe it was just some sort of weird effect where once you walked a certain distance, you kind of disappeared and appeared somewhere else, and that was how they maintained the darkness over it, but that doesn't seem to be the answer.
Not a bad theory.
I'm gonna have Cashmere will snap his fingers in recollection and turn to Wade. Wade,
Yeah.
you can do the dead person thing now.
I was considering that myself. If
Doesn't that only work for dead things?
We don't know if they're dead. Can you check?
Well, we don't know if would that just conjure some random deceased soul, or would it
can you specify if you don't know the person or?
Well, I could specify the time frame if I recall.
Oh, good. The
Either
time
way.
frame. The one thing I think is going to be weird.
I propose we at least back out of the clearing just in case it somehow spontaneously rematerializes us and we get telefragged by a city.
Good
Fair
idea.
enough. Yeah, it's like it must have been a spell to exact. It's like a ship in a bottle, taken for collection. This city. I was watching the plot to Injustice 2 with Brainiac. It's exactly like this, where like he like takes
Oh.
cities. And,
Yeah, I've never heard of that game. Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it.
I'm just kidding that I stole it, but I didn't.
Well,
How long? Don't think. How long was the darkness in the forest previous to here? Was it like a week or so? Like how long had that been going?
I'm definitely more weeks than that. Enough for business around this halting flame to sprout up. Enough for
Oh, damn.
many weeks.
Are those two
Probably
related?
not a year.
Was something done? Perhaps they had to flee because they were trapped?
flee
wouldn't
and take the
help.
whole town with them?
Someone could have stumbled upon the power and wished to get them out of there or something. I'm not. None of these are substantial theories yet. I'm just kind of spitballing here.
Yeah, well, maybe we could circle on the perimeter if we can't go to the middle.
Listen, Termin, if we start dealing with people who actually can do wishes, we're going to be very...
Not.
Oh, that'll be trouble.
Not wish with a capital W. We're not quite that deep yet.
Yeah, so we'll start walking around circumference. That's cool.
Okay, start walking around. And just a quick in-universe note. The wish spell would not... I mean, maybe like there's a story around, there's a so powerful spell that it does this, but it would not be known as a thing that could actually be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's read books, including fantasy books. Who knows?
Yeah. Start walking around the perimeter. It's about the same. There's trees, and then it's like jungle again. It's not like a perfect circle by any means. It's in a regular shape. But no matter where you walk, it's just an absence of town.
Yeah.
Crim
So
will...
like very obvious like right angles at the very edges of the town. Like it was like chopped up like a cookie cutter, basically like taken up or...
Not quite so harsh. No.
Yeah, related to that, Crim will inspect the trees. Does it look like they were cut off at all? Or if they had like very far branches, they bleed into the border or anything like that?
Yeah, no, not nearly so harsh. The trees are becoming less dense and like I don't know how to describe this in real life terms. But as you would expect, let's say there's a town that exists in a forest. The trees are ending in the same way, except there's no buildings or houses or gardens or anything taking up the place. If that makes sense.
What time of day is it?
I don't know, Alex. What time is it?
You may choose.
Oh.
Maybe you should pull out your pocket watch.
Literally,
Turner.
Tal, saying you may choose also has two different meanings.
Because you're talking to Alex.
All right. It is early afternoon.
You must choose.
Wonder... No, but then Huston wouldn't have disappeared, so that's not it. And again, I'm jumping to the conclusion that Huston's disappearance and the town's disappearance are connected, and they might not be.
We could try some detect magic at first.
Wait, hold on. Are the lizards that are connected to the carts, are those gone too?
No, they're there.
Okay.
They are hard to read. They're generally pretty darn placid.
Yeah, if we have a good tracker, we could try and track his footsteps where they ended.
Let me see if I can see anything.
Okay, you could do survival if you wish.
Do I have... course I did. Why would I ever swap out guidance? Of course I have it prepared. It's gonna be 26.
Okay. Yeah, about 300 feet back along the path is where you easily pick up the way his, characteristic web paws, little dots at the tip, was claws. He keeps his toe claws pretty long, maybe for better purchase in the ground. They're getting, more blurry, warping, and, less deep for about a 10-foot distance. And then they're gone. And then another, 200 rough-ish feet until you're at the clearing proper.
Okay, this is a stupid idea, but I'm gonna try it.
Huh?
You've got good ideas so far. What's on your mind?
Right. Gonna do the thing.
He's doing the thing,
And-
everyone!
Oh, he's doing the thing.
And I am going to use the hour to create an area of twilight, sort of at the entrance, kind of try to estimate where I think the edge of town might be, and I want to set that area in twilight.
Ooh.
Okay.
Can someone give
That-
Doc resolve because I can't.
I can do it.
I already have it.
Cool.
Then I won't.
Well,
Okay.
you know the rules with resolve.
You do the thing, you call upon that power, and as that pinpoint column, which rapidly dilates into this unnatural, jarring, okay, here's bright afternoon, it's clearing, so everything's much brighter than you guys are used to, and then you just shift your eyes an inch to the right, and it's like sunset, dark, dim, and it's like this radius that appears. It does not reveal anything. It just changes the light. And two things. One, as you do this, to you it's exciting. Wow, this is twilight. There's a different time of day that I just created, and it urges you to, you could act on it or not, to want to be in it, to encourage others to be in it. And then my second question would be how long you maintain this effect.
I'm gonna give it a couple of seconds to see if anything seems like it's happening. As I start to feel that sensation kind of encroaching on my thoughts, I'm gonna snap my fingers and dispel it.
Okay. And it's gone.
We always want to stay on. We all should stay on Alex's good side. If we won't, he won't give us the time of day.
How long were you waiting to say that one?
A few minutes.
What did his footsteps say? Anything?
So weird. They're warping. I'm gonna point it out to everybody.
Well,
Oh.
that likely means it's interconnected with the city. If he was kidnapped, they would just stop.
Ezra's gonna look up.
But why only him? Not even... I suppose I can
Good.
understand why not us, because we, for whatever reason, seem to be either, well, not immune, but affected differently by these things. But he kind of points to their mules.
Yeah.
Strange-
Cashmere, you see a feral boa constrictor way up there. A couple of birds watching you. Lots of trees. That's it.
Well, he didn't fly up into the sky, I guess.
But perhaps for this town we could find a witness. Alex, do you want to come with me? Do we have 10 minutes? Or should I use my energy on this?
Let's not get too carried away using these powers.
I
Kind
don't know
of
what
related
he's
to that.
saying.
Do you think we could try some detect magic again?
Yeah, we can ritual cast together. I'm gonna try and speak to the flora, the fauna here, see what they can reveal.
Oh, good idea. I'll, Huh. I guess I can try digging underground and see if some of their under infrastructure would be there. Yes, I'll try that where I think a building might have been.
Oh yes, you
Then
can go
Crim kinda
find the
just-
plumbing.
Yeah, that's literally what Crim's gonna search for something like that.
Okay, I think the first effect to occur would be the. Oh, are you doing the ghost thing or something else? Wait.
I'm just ritual casting speed with animals.
Okay, then I think the Crim thing would resolve first. Okay. Any particular spot you're going, Crim?
Crim will be looking for, based on how the ground seems like it was solid and prepped for, like it's meant to have a building on it, so to speak. He'll look for a place like that, and he'll just try to use his big old claws to dig underground and search for what he's read about for, like, stuff that would be under a building, like
Yeah.
prep work, foundation, some
Mhm.
septic tank equivalent,
Yeah.
anything like that.
Start digging, and perhaps even now you're marveling at how much soil you can easily move with your big paws and athletic strength. You dig and you dig. Surely you would have hit, foundations or a layer in an environment like this where there's heavy rains and uncertain soil consistency. But you don't find anything. Could you give me a perception check though, anyway, please?
Oh, good. I'm bad at those. Okay.
Can you make a case for investigation?
Not in this one, I think.
Okay, that's alright.
Only an 8.
8. Okay. Yeah, you don't find anything. It's like there's nothing you can touch or see. It's gone.
Crim will keep pressing at that while they're doing their thing.
Yeah, I'll be ritual casting along with Wade. Same spell.
Together.
We'll do detect
we have
magic.
very different ways of doing the same spell, I imagine.
Okay. And is Cashmere doing anything in particular? Otherwise, I have a prompt for him.
No, he's not.
Okay, I'll get to you after this then, if
Okay.
there's a crazy sidetrack. Okay. Yeah, so what spell occurs, Wade?
Just speak with the animals. He was like my genius just does some flourishes with a little blade of his, maybe does a little toot of the whistle, and then just feels the energy wash over him. He'll look up to the boa constrictor and just maybe take out like a piece of like raw beef or rations or whatever, or something of the meat variety, and just kind of hold it up in his hand a few feet away. Hello, friend. I offer food for information.
You could tell it's lethargic from a recent meal. It slowly uncurls from its tree trunk higher up. Takes its time coming down.
Mhm.
It says, I'm not hungry. I'm slithering here.
That's a great voice for a snake.
What's the matter, you? Damn Carefian snakes.
What do you
There-
want?
Was there... How long have you been in the area?
Are we interpreting this as him granting the thing the ability to speak?
I cast the spell as well.
Oh, he has the same spell. Oh, okay. I've been here for, I don't know, 2 days? Digesting. It was good.
Was there anything in this clearing as far as you know?
Big boxes of wood, stone.
Are you blind? It's right there. There's a big one right there. There's a smaller one right there. I caught a mouse inside that one.
Let's see. At that, Wade will just start walking in the direction that he pointed out, like into the clearing. He's going to take the risk.
Oh god, we are in the Twilight Realm now.
Walk and walk, and you don't encounter any such buildings.
At some point, he would stop and look back and think, "Where am I right now?"
I wonder where that other guy went, he says to you, Alex.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird. I don't see people do that.
Well, I can see him right there.
Huh.
Maybe it's not the city. Maybe it's us. Unless whatever was cast here affected also this whole surrounding area. But if it was just us, that would explain why Huston didn't come along.
I could tell you're not from around here. Weirdos.
Yeah, since we're not from around this time either. Curious. So we put the pieces together.
Well, I'm gonna go look for some new pork. Good luck.
Yeah, fair.
He said he wasn't hungry.
Yeah, for your help, Wade would throw the meat over. Just take it.
Yeah. Okay. He does.
God, you're more lethargic than my snake.
I'm going to turn to the lizards that are pulling the wagons. Do you see the city there?
One lizard says, nope. I just see dirt. It's pretty sad.
Did you happen to notice when Huston disappeared?
I wasn't really paying attention. He was with us, wasn't he? He was on the wagon, then he was walking. I thought he said we were almost there. I'm tired. The sun is very nice.
I think that's all we can get for now. Could we maybe detect magic? Maybe that'll show us something. Because Crim was casting that, right?
No.
Turner is.
Oh, Turner. Sorry.
Yeah, I know we look the same.
Okay, yeah. Once you wear glasses, oh snap! You kind of look like him too.
Well, you look the same when you're both waving your cameras.
Okay, can I get an Arcana check from Turner? And if it's okay, and let's see if I thought of something else, I'd like a history check, please, from Cashmere, who's just sort of observing.
A history check? Why a history check? Can you give me like some info on that?
I'd be wondering if he might be thinking about, like, okay, what do I know about Sunflag? What is this place supposed to be?
28.
If you want.
My dice are on fire tonight.
Sure, let's go history. Yeah.
28, okay.
That is an 18.
Wow, okay.
That's what I got on the die.
So, Turner, you sense powerful illusion magic. And with a 28, it is enough for you to get a lot more information. One is that it's interesting in that it sort of interacts at the individual target or creature level. Different people, everyone exposed to it, would have a different reaction. It's not like a communal blanket effect. And you can tell that it sort of has a sentience. Like you have, as you detect it, you feel it like whispering through people's minds, invisible, as if looking for something. Wonder if you've had to save to be wise at some point. Yeah, and then depending on what it finds, this type of magic, you have determined it might project a different or lesser or not even any illusory effect at all. Sort of smart illusion magic.
For all we know, there's probably an entire city of people just watching these weirdos on the outskirts of their town.
If that's true, then Dustin could be right next to us. Probably trying to get our attention.
And you, Cashmere, you recall that Sunflag is a reclusive town ever since the scatter, and being the DC 15 threshold, you recall you heard once that there was some method they employed to keep outsiders away, some sort of enchantment or artifact on the town. Can't remember the details.
He thinks about it for a second, and then he slaps his forehead and goes, "Oh! Okay, now I get it. Huston's been here before. We haven't."
So basically, I don't get it. Does the town not want us here? Is that... Wait, have I been digging up someone's house?
I
You won't
think it's
know.
more like we have to ask for entrance somehow. I don't
You
know.
should have told us that.
Well, yeah, you think he would have known, but I guess he forgot?
Well, I don't think that they would do something like this unless it was an emergency situation. Perhaps like the entire force around them being enshrouded in darkness
Oh yeah.
or something else.
Well, I mean, maybe if the people who are watching us knew that we fixed that thing, maybe they'd let us in. Hello?
Doesn't work.
Well, to prove
It's
our
a try.
Well,
That's-
having Alex unknowingly flaunt the powers outside their borders may be counterproductive, but that might also be unrelated entirely.
Well, one more test. Huston, if you're there, if you're next to me, I'm gonna walk, maybe say 500 feet away from the city. See if I'll get rid of the effect and we can talk to you again. It'll start walking. Basically, like away from Sunflag, just trying to see, like,
Mm-hmm.
does Huston suddenly appear next to him?
Turner will follow.
All those who follow, including you get there, Wade. And like a shadow of a shadow on the path next to you, like some dark blur sort of resolves, shimmering features, color, making somewhat of an appearance. It's Huston. You're back past where his tracks had appeared, where Alex had pointed them out. It looks like he's trying to talk to you. He's like pantomiming something, a gesture, and then he like looks over his shoulder towards the town again, and like he's becoming invisible and fading again so quickly.
Before he could Wade really quickly do a message spell? Message cantrip?
Sure.
Alright. Huston, can you hear us? What advice do you have? And he'd point at him, telepathy into his mind.
His mental words are matching his lips even as they're blurring again, and all you can hear before it's cut off is, "You're outsiders. It's not gonna... You have to..."
Wow, that's the most cliche spot to cut off ever.
I got one.
Whatever you do, don't...
I'm gonna say, kind of verbally to the spot where he was. Alright, well, we'll try going a little further and we'll see if that works.
Oh yeah, that is the
Well-
opposite of being outside.
No, I'm gonna go like another,
Or outside.
I don't know, 200 feet or so further away from the town. See if he starts reappearing.
Can I, while he's doing that, would I also be able to make a history check to try to maybe just get a bit more information about this town?
You sure can. You'd have to get DC 20.
Okay.
I will cast Guidance.
Oh, for me? Oh, cool, thank you. Gotta get 13 or higher on the dice then. Unfortunately not. 9 plus 7, 16 with guidance.
You're only able to recall as much as Cashmere was.
Damn, my dice were on a roll, but
Okay, you go even farther, and after another 150 feet or so, that shadow of a shadow begins to appear too, as well as a couple other, like somewhat blurred, uplifted people, it's too dim and uncertain to make out details. And you sense you have a fleeting moment. What do you do with it?
I'm gonna cast a message on Huston. We need to do what?
Yeah.
Oh.
As that's happening, can Wade just rush forward to just try and grab his hand?
Yes. Okay, yeah, you grab it, and you feel it.
And then Wade's just gonna close his eyes.
Okay, make a perception check.
All right, shit.
Huston, stab yourself so that way we can talk to you as a ghost.
Oh my god. Wow.
It's a great solution.
Roll a persuasion check.
15.
15. Okay, you shut your eyes, you grab him, you feel that sensation, but unbeknownst to you, as the conversation with whatever Alex is going to say concludes, you feel like it's slipping. Like your hand has purchase on something, but the sensation of tactile, like I am touching something, like the fur of his wrist, you don't have acute enough sensation to like hold on to that. And you kind of lose where you're supposed to be holding. It's like it's not there anymore.
I see. Gotcha.
You say you need to do what? He says, "Oh, you can hear me? Okay, act like you belong. I don't know. Perform. You have to show that you're one of them. That's all you get."
What do you say?
Perform. Show that you're one of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, what is one of them?
Crim puts on his disguise.
I'm gonna have Cashmere walk back to the town, and as he's doing so, super exaggerated, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so excited to get to Sunflag, where I belong." Can I do a performance check?
Yes.
Okay, depending on the result, something might happen.
Oh yeah, I'm from Sunflag, huh?
Dirty 20.
20. That's incredible.
Okay. Well, that's
Do
a
you wanna
good
react
roll.
to that?
So
No.
that's a decent enough roll. If he didn't roll well, a spectral hand would have just kind of like clamped his muzzle shut.
Okay. As you do that, you and you alone, Cashmere, see like boop, 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 like blinking, not blinking, like a sudden unblurring, like what happened to Huston when he reappeared, but in fast motion of multiple people, like a quick blink of your eyes, you see the outlines of buildings, perhaps just tricks of the light right in front of you. No details. It's like you were on the right track, but it's like your words are rejected. Like, oh, that wasn't quite enough. Actually, false alarm, guys, and then things start to fade more quickly again.
Well, he's gonna look back at the others and kind of make a come on motion.
Turner is going to go into the one of the caravans where some of their stock is being held and just kind of like go through. I think these are the ones that we were going to bring, and then where was that building that Huston was taking us to? He's kind of like looking around where he thinks the building might be in that town. I think they've been waiting. They've been waiting for a while. You know.
That
He's
straight
here
up
to do
does
business.
that straight up does not work. That approach it does not
I-
yield you any info.
I guess at that point he basically is an outsider, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Crim starts drawing something, but then he pauses and glances at the lizards, and he's like, "Huh." And then he does the same thing 2 more times. And then, upon the lizards, he dons them and himself another one of those cardboard messages saying, "Home sweet home."
It's like a
You're
Tom and
putting
Jerry
in-
skit.
You put it on yourself or the lizards?
All three. He wrote three messages on his little, the flip book thing. He took one off to put them on there. So because he doesn't want to leave the lizards behind.
Okay. Nick shifting some paste or something of rope. I don't know, but you've secured on them. One of the lizards seems surprised for a moment as that is put on, and then becomes more baseline.
Well, I did part of it. Cashmere, did it work at all for you?
A little bit. Yeah. Actually, hold on. And he's going to think. He's going to imagine that the land in front of him is his hometown, where he grew up.
Ooh, roll a deception check. But who are you trying to deceive?
That's a good
Yourself?
question. I'm going to use resolve. That's a nat 1.
Oh, okay.
That would be a 12.
A 12 to believe that this is your hometown. You know, some people are really good at lying to themselves. In this moment, you're okay at it, but for some reason, this lie, it gives you a lot of headway. As you do that, even more than the previous time, things are coming into focus. You're seeing the gray stones of these buildings, as most of them are constructed. You see a vast town, and more importantly, you see a small crowd around you, Huston among them, and that is enough for a lot of them to be doing this gesture somewhat frantically at you.
Cashmere replicates it. Like opening a door? What? Okay.
You
Does it over to
replicate
again.
it, and they become more solid. You see some uplifted, still shadowy and somewhat transparent dinosaurs. You can almost hear their voices distantly. And Huston, too, who seems to notice that you are getting this, and you hear faintly like, "Yes, good job. That's their greeting. They talk in Undercommon. I wish I could." It's getting a little bit more faded. You're getting words in and out.
Cashmere will turn around really quickly and shout, "Home!" Because he's assuming he's fading away to the others too.
I see.
Is he?
Is he?
I'll say no, you're not. You just look like a crazy person.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't we all?
Crim sensing that he senses what he it's a deliberate motion, so he kind of just he blurts out, "How am I supposed to do that?"
Is he sharing? Is he sharing what he had heard, or what he had said, or is
Cashmere?
is Cash sharing what he just heard them say?
Yeah, sure. As he's shouting behind him, shouting "Home!" and he does the gesture as well.
But does he share the rest, the language stuff too?
Not yet.
Okay. Then I won't do that.
Alright, so we have to have it seem like home to us, or to them, like we belong.
What
Alright.
are they saying?
Something about Undercommon? I don't know. Think of home.
Oh,
Undercommon is separate from the language that Crim knows, right?
It's explicitly named Undercommon, so unless that's what you know.
I don't know if there's Undercommon. I remember Undercommon's a weird one, but I don't know.
Turner is going to cast comprehend languages. Unfortunately, I can't cast on other people, so just on himself. And then he'll kind of just say in that language, since now we can speak it. Thanks for upgrading the spell, either Doc or Wizards, whoever did it. And then just say, we finally made it back. It's been out in that forest for too long. I need to return to my hammock. Something like that.
Okay. It's incredible. And yeah, Undercommon, if scale, I think is what you're referring to, completely separate.
No, the other one.
You would probably have to upcast comprehend languages to rank 3 to be able to speak Undercommon.
Oh, really?
Do you want to DM me, Namo?
Wait, let me.
It's not a standard language.
Seems to be working somewhat. You still seem visible to me.
Why is this thing being stupid? There we
I
are.
think I know how I could get in there, but I don't know if I'm willing to do it.
Is it a dance? I don't like dancing. I'm very bad at dancing.
I could give it the old college try. Well, we're not dancing, but yeah. Wade will also cast Comprehend Language. And he has a face. He's using a spell slot this time, and yeah, he stands up straight, clears his throat. Hello, everyone. A quick copy for your time. For the show, and he takes off his cap and he puts it right in front of him, like on the floor. It's a long way to Mamelon today. It's a long way to go. It's a long way
What?
to Mamelon. He's a street performer. He's trying to.
Okay, what is the origin of this song in universe?
It's an old war song.
Okay.
Oh, good.
It's
That's a
one
great
contemporary.
impression.
Well, you could roll performance to see how entrancing a performance it is.
Yeah, he's trying to seem like I'm a guy from the city doing my thing on the street. Makes any sense?
Yeah.
Like that's like the strategy I'm going for. All right. Performance not as good as persuasion, but I still got decent in that. D20, better in the crowd. I got +9 with that bitch. Let's do it. Bah!
Do you have
Okay.
resolve?
I
Maybe not.
I-
I don't know.
I got it early in the session. Is that gonna be 2 or no? It's just 1, right?
Just one.
All right. Plan B then.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent little song and dance routine, but it doesn't change your perception of this area.
Damn it. All right.
Nor would a 26 have, for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's why I called the good idea fairy.
Is there something you wanted to do, Turner, with that spell, or should I jump back to Cashmere?
Yeah, he was just trying to act like he's coming back home after a long trip. That's really it.
Okay. Meanwhile, in Cashmere land, you hear some words distantly again, cutting in and out. They sound like Feist Harbum Ganado. You're eventually able to piece together after a minute of hearing this from many distant voices.
Feist Harbor. What?
Feist Harbum Ganado.
Feist Harbum Ganado?
Feisty harbor gonads.
Oh,
Does anyone speak Undercommon in the party?
Well, two of us
Well-
can currently.
You would have just hear him say, "May the shadows keep you" in Undercommon. Sounds like a sort of greeting. And as you say it, Cashmere, you are kind of more immersed. We'll say you're like 30% in Sunflag land, enough to reliably interact with people and hear them and see the town, even if it's still shadowy and you're missing some details.
Turner will try to say that with a bit more confidence, since he can at least currently speak it.
And where are you standing as you do that?
Somewhat close to him. I don't know. We don't really have a visual.
Okay.
It's all forest right now.
Battle map. Okay. Okay, if you're standing right next to him, you say that too, and boom, you are almost at the same immersion suddenly as Cashmere. Things come into focus, and you see all these people around you. And by say all these people, there's like 7.
It's cool. I got a plan I want to trap. That's all right.
What was that?
I got another plan I want to trap. That's all right. All right. Could he either go find the snake or just another nearby animal?
You find a tree squirrel.
Hey, little buddy.
Hello.
I could split what I want to offer, but I think we could have a good exchange. You can see the city, right?
Yeah, we'll love it.
Oh, I got a lot of berries on me. I'm going to give them to you for one favor. I want you, my friend, perch on my shoulder and be my eyes for a little bit.
Okay, give me the berry.
All right, he'll give a berry, and then he'll
Like the
offer
red
his
ones.
hand. Of course, the red ones.
That one's blue. Can you see? Okay, takes the red one and immediately stuffs it to his mouth.
Yeah, and I'll perch on my
Alright.
shoulder, and I want you to just tell me which way to go to just walk down the street. I'm going to close my eyes, just say left, right, etc.
What's left?
Whatever you say,
Wow.
good cat. Left
All right,
or left.
all right, good. And then, all right, Wade, he's just gonna start walking just like a guy, like pissed off, like on his commute, just like gotta get somewhere.
Well,
Okay, roll performance again.
All right, gotcha. This guy's. I'm good at this. I just need the dice to confirm that. Aha.
Okay.
Not bad.
You are able to convince whatever with this performance and walking right down the middle of the street as it should be that you belong here. And the city shimmers, the town shimmers into somewhat of focus around you. Now you don't need the squirrel.
Thanks, my friend. And he'll give us more food and I'm off on his way.
Nice. I'm not leaving.
All
well,
right, fair.
All right, damn it, you could have just told us that you were casting Find Familiar.
Well, this is how it begins.
Well, no, the familiar would be an outsider. It wouldn't work.
Mm.
But it's familiar to this place.
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna have Cashmere say the phrase with more gusto this time. Hands on his hips, chest out, whatever it was again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It maybe fractionally increases the substantiation of those around you.
He shouts. He shouts it.
So,
People-
question.
Uh,
Undercommon uses Sylvan as its writing system.
hmm?
Yes, the script for Undercommon uses Sylvan characters.
Oh wow, I didn't know they were that in depth about it.
Oh, so like English and Spanish.
Right, like it's the same alphabet. So, obviously this is probably not enough for me to, like, fully understand the language, but is it enough to where I'm like, okay, I can maybe kind of, recognize some of those sounds?
I'll say that would depend on a check. But-
Mostly what I'm trying to do is when I repeat this statement, I want to kind of try to, like, mimic the accent a little bit more so that it doesn't sound quite as much as like a person just making nonsense noises.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll say you could do linguistics isn't a skill, so
Are we having a fucking citizenship test from a xenophobic city? Like a living xenophobic city?
I didn't think about it that way. I guess so. I guess a wisdom check then.
Those. 18.
Okay. Yeah, through some rough relationship these two languages have, you have better than average skill of pronouncing this language properly.
Does it seem to help me get in at all?
Yeah, as you say, Feist Harbum Ganado. Yes, it sure does. It is enough for you to be at the same level of substantiation as Wade, perhaps. Just more than enough to communicate and see where you're going.
Seeing that this has been effective, Crim will get on his hind legs and awkwardly attempt the same gesture. Just to start seeing these, try to start seeing these people.
Okay, I need a DC 5 sleight of hand check.
That's actually
Yeah.
a non-zero chance I can fail that. Okay, I didn't actually. I got an 11.
You're able to make your bones move in a little bit of a weird way to do this pronating little gesture. And yeah, that's enough for you to... The worst of everyone so far that's done stuff, but you can at least see where people are and see where buildings are. Hear some
Then,
voices.
trying to follow up on that, Crim will close his eyes and try to trick himself in a different way. He will try to use the sense of feeling for this as he starts walking toward the town in such a way that, like, he's envisioning he's actually returning home to his home, but the city doesn't know that. Maybe. As he's trying to think, yeah, this is home. Can't wait to see my parents and tell them about all the things I've already seen.
Mhm.
Maybe see my room and all of its nothing in there, but hey, maybe I can put stuff in it now. He's thinking that as he starts striding forward.
Okay, I think that is deception to make
Okay.
yourself believe this.
Deception is only an 8. Not the best.
Yeah, it's hard. This is so different than your
However,
home.
against his own insight, why is that when I roll high? God damn it.
You can hold on to the lie. It's slippery. It's like you don't really believe it deep down, and you don't seem to trick whatever is assessing you. At this point, has everyone except Turner been able to do it, or is that everyone?
I think that's everyone.
Yeah, I was not to get like halfway.
Okay. Then, yeah. With working at it, doing more of this, spending time, some of it takes more time than others. But Huston would bring this like bowl of what looks like caterpillars that are kind of curled, dead, and roasted. Encourage you to eat them. For those of you who didn't want to, he would do another gesture. You'd hear different words in Undercommon, and more after another 10 minutes or so. You'd all get to at least like the 80% level, where if you squint or your mind wanders, maybe things start to become transparent again and you can't hear people's words. But it's enough where this Sunflag, this shadowed city, really holds true, because everything is marked by a pall of gray and the people aren't fully substantial to you. But you've done it.
So, how are we supposed to get the supplies in here?
Is Turner at a point right now where he can actually speak to these people, or is there like
Yeah.
enough substance to them?
Yeah.
Okay. And he'll kind of look to one of them and ask, so how long has this been like this? He'll be able to speak in whatever language seems to be the most common here, pun not intended.
That's really loud. 1 sec.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It is good music.
You can always turn down your end, I'll do the same.
And before you are able to properly start asking questions, Huston would be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to tell you. I was excited. I was thinking about the sales. But, good job. Won't happen again."
So this is a normal thing here that you neglected to mention for the entire journey?
I'm more surprised at the fact that it's a thing at all. It seems kind of hard to get into to sell anything.
Last year's guards, we're all from more or less this area. Some of us have even been here before. But for whatever reason, all of you, no such luck. It wasn't in my mind. I'm really sorry.
Well, admittedly, I never really had the opportunity. This would be my first time. Wow, I can only imagine if I just happened to pass through here and... Oh, I'm talking. Whoops.
Huston, after our first day of meeting, with what we saw there, and then what we had just come back here, or what we had just escaped on our way up to here, you had me thinking there's another crisis.
He continues with apologies. He would tell you, Alex, like, oh, he'll just feed some customary food to the lizards. That's often enough. Otherwise, whatever. We can bring stuff by hand. And yes, you'd be attracting a lot of curious looks, Crim. But there's an air of, you said the word earlier, xenophobia. It's not quite that here, but a lot of the people, now that Huston is successfully communicating with you, are not seeming interested in approaching or holding conversation. Their eyes are down, they kind of have furtive movements in general, like trying to stay close to walls, out of sight. It's a strange vibe in this place, where conversation isn't a freely exchanged commodity, it seems, even with each other.
And as they say, money talks.
You know, maybe Loris could have made it work here after all. We're a bunch of weirdos.
We were worried about them being trapped here.
Oh,
They probably
after
would have
the
looked
terror
at it
was
that way.
it was a fun puzzle after the terror. Well, just as usual, find an inn, get acquainted with the area, and help sell some silk.
Yeah, I guess so.
Only if our beds don't disappear in the meantime.
Well, now that you're here and you know what it's like, maybe it'll come to feel familiar. It's usually enough. Right, I thought they would go to the Beller's Bowl. That's right down here, if memory serves.
Yeah, fair. I hope it feels familiar. I don't want my bed to disappear before my feet.
Well, you won't actually fall. You'll probably just feel and see and hear as if you fell. And other people who are not affected would see the same.
If I hear and see and feel like I fell, what's the difference between actually falling?
Did I dig anyone else's? Did I dig someone's ground up?
Oh! He
And-
points out, and yeah, at the base of a wall, there's like a random hole.
Whoops!
So,
I'll go.
what, do we just
I'll go bury that.
walk through buildings or something?
That's some strong
I feel like you
illusions.
walk through buildings.
Yes and no. If you all were affected, you were all at the same time, it would have looked like you were walking in a straight line, but actually, you were sort of being guided by the magic to avoid solid objects.
It's like a
pretty-
hollow room in Star Trek.
Pretty advanced magic. They did a good job, whoever put this here, who knows when.
Good for use when used for defense.
Imagine it'd be difficult to convince them to let me pick their brains on that.
Heard a story one time, someone was trying to get in, didn't know how it worked. They threw a rock real hard. They totally pegged someone, fainted, had to go to their little hospital. But he said when he actually got in later that to him it just looked like the rock landed in the dirt.
Well, if throwing rocks looks like he really must feel like he belongs in a place like this. Sorry, that's what Spirited.
Well, he's gone now. Anyway, here we are, the Beller's Bowl. And I think that's where we can call it.
We made it.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. Again, guys, I have achieved backstory. I can lay back now. It's great.
You have achieved backstory.
Alright, well, we shall see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye bye!
Woohoo!